Okay, so I had to get creative and record myself reading it to myself, so let's see how it goes.
This is a reading from the Acts of the Apostles.
A reading from the book of Acts.
When the day of Pentecost had come,
the disciples were all together in one place.
And suddenly from heaven,
there came a sound.
The sound of a rushing wind.
And it filled the entire house where they were sitting.
Divided tongue as fire appeared among them.
And a tongue rested on each of them.
All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit.
And began to speak in other languages.
As the Spirit gave them ability.
As the Spirit gave them ability.
As the Spirit gave them ability.
now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven living in Jerusalem.
Now there were devout Jews from every nation under heaven.
And at this sound the crowd gathered and were bewildered.
Because each one heard them speaking
in the native language of each.
Amazed and astonished, they asked,
Are not all of these who are speaking Galileans?
And how is it that we hear each of us in our own native language?
I don't know how to pronounce
Parthians?
those names. Parthians.
Medes,
Medes.
Elamites,
Elamites.
and residents of Mesopotamia.
And residents of Mesopotamia.
That's a lot of places. Probably gonna end up skipping that paragraph.
Judea.
And Cappadocia.
And Cappadocia.
Pontus and Asia,
Phrygia.
Phrygia.
And Pamphylia.
And Pamphylia.
Egypt and parts of Libya, belonging to Cyrene.
And visitors from even Rome.
Both Jews and proselytes.
Both Jews and proselytes.
Cretans and Arabs.
I don't think proselytes is a word. I think it's proselytes.
I think you're right.
Cretans and Arabs.
All were amazed and perplexed, saying to one another,
What does this mean?
But others sneered and said,
They are filled with new wine.
They are filled with new wine.
But Peter, standing with the 11,
raised his voice and addressed them.
Men of Judea.
Men of Judea, and all who live among them, let this be known to you.
And listen to what I say.
Indeed, we are not drunk, as you suppose.
For it is only 9 o'clock in the morning.
No.
This was what was spoken
Through the prophet Joel.
In the last days it will be, God declares,
I will pour out my spirit
that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters
And they shall prophesy.
And your young men shall see visions.
And your old men shall dream dreams.
Even upon my slaves, both men and women.
In those days I will pour out my spirit.
And they shall prophesy.
And I shall also show portents in the heaven above.
signs on the earth below.
blood and fire and smoky mist.
The sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood.
Before the coming of the Lord's great and glorious day.
Then everyone who calls on the name of the Lord,
Who calls upon the name of the Lord, shall be saved.
shall be saved.
Shall be saved.
Shall be saved.
Oh, it's recording. You can't use that.
This is the word of the Lord.
The word of the Lord.
The word of the Lord.